Welcome back to Constructed Accumulated Knowledge at Kirwan's Game Store. This is Kevin Jones with part 2 of the video with Modern Faeries. And in this match, we're going to be playing against Modern Living End, and it's a super interesting match, so stay tuned for the games. We'll be right back. And we're back for another match. I really like my opponent's MTGO name. Ichiro is one of the best baseball players. Big Ichiro fan. It's like my style. You know, slap hit or whatever, but alright, so his hand is really good against creature deck. Pretty mediocre against a combo deck, but we're on the play, so we rolled a 2 and each rolled a 1. Okay, yeah, so we're on the play. I'm going to keep. It's kind of close, though. Having the creature lands is really nice because they're a little bit better than regular lands, as you play a lot of lands for a deck with a lot of cheap spells in it. Have to use our Delta to make sure our Drowned Catacomb comes to play on tap, so we're probably going to get a basic island with Delta, and we'll be all set. Oh, man. Okay, this is probably fine. This could be Death Shadow, of which we have 2 removal spells for. Could be Dredge, and if that's the case, we lose. But that's okay. Looks like it's probably a Shadow deck. Oh, that's a good draw. Pass the turn. And luckily, mana leaking any removal spell, or any discard spell they cast here. And then just throwing Liliana into play and hoping that it does its job. Alright, so no discard spell. Alright, I guess we're just gonna put Liliana into play. Oh, the discard? No. Doing something in their own end step. Cycling Desert Ceradon. Are they playing Living End? I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. Oh, did I just pass through my own turn? Oh, no, I hope that's not what happened. That was super awkward. I still have no idea what just happened. Alright. End step. Okay. Upkeep step. Okay. Did I just not pay attention and F6 through my own turn? I hope that's not what happened. That would be depressing. That was still really strange that all they did was cycle Desert Ceradon. I guess this could be Living End? I'm kind of scared. I'm just going to say go. I don't really know what's happening. This match is super cool. I really hope it makes it into the final cut because this is just so strange. Oh no! Oh no, what's going on? I guess if you were playing Modern Living End, you would have Desert Ceradon in your deck. So, like, it kind of makes sense. It's a shame. Liliana's not very good if they're playing Living End. I think yep. They're definitely playing Living End. I guess they could be playing like New Perspectives or something instead, but I really don't think that's what's happening. I think that this is a Living End deck with all the Amonkhet creatures as upgrades to the Alara block creatures that were the previous Living End creatures. We still have Mana Leak up for the Living End. Or for their, yeah, when they cascade and they hit Living End, we have Mana Leak. So that's good. I'm going to play this. Next turn I can play Liliana plus Mana Leak. And that's good. It's possible they have Demonic Dreads that they have no target for. We're not really, like, hurting them on resources, though. This is definitely a Living End deck. This is so awkward. I have no idea if this matchup is good or not. I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to put a bunch of creatures into play and we're going to die. Violent Outburst can be cast at instant speed too, so it's important to remember that. Cycling. I did it again. They just keep cycling and I just keep F6ing through my turn. This is the weirdest match I've ever played. Because they don't ever do anything on their turn. So I keep thinking that they're just tanking. In fact, they're just passing. Alright, so we're probably going to want to cast this Inquisition of Kozilek. As it hits all the things that matter, which are the discard, the cascade spells. This game is so funny. Oh, man. They need to have like 3 of them because they're just going to let it happen. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, well, we're going to take Violent Outburst. But remember that they can cast Beast Within to give us a beast and then cast Demonic Dread so that they can cast Living End. So if they'll leave up 3 mana for Mana Leak at all times, that's good to know. Alright, this is still fine. Their hand is 2 Beast, 2 Dread, Horror, 2D, Horror, my own end step, that's fine. Alright. And the Living End, okay. Recycling Horror, sure. If a Living End effect resolves, we are very, very dead. I don't know why they just didn't suspend it. Mana Leak is so good against this deck. Oh, they suspended it now. Okay. That's cool. So, they suspended it now. Their hand is whatever they draw Horror, 2 Beasts Within, 2 Demonic Dread. Can we just kill them if we draw a land? They won't have a creature to target. Living End. Alright, so I think an attack with Mutavault is in order. I don't think anything else is necessary. I don't even think Liliana does anything. It's possible it does, but I think we're just going to kill them now. They have Beast... It's possible we're supposed to attack when they don't have Beast Within up, but don't know. Also, can Go for the Throat our Beast Within token before they have the opportunity, if they let us, before they have the opportunity to cast Demonic Dread, which is super interesting and weird. Man, this game is something else. Wow. Yep, so there's 2 counters on that now. Fine. What's going to happen now? They still can't cast Demonic Dread. They have to cast Beast Within and then cast Demonic Dread. So they'll Beast Within end of turn, and then we can kill our dude in the same end of turn step. Which is super weird, but is probably correct. Alright, so now we could cast Liliana or Snapcaster Mage. But I think they're going to cast Beast Within, so I think the play is to cast nothing. If they... Oh no, we can cast Liliana. If they Beast Within a land... Or we can cast Snapcaster, actually. Let's cast Snapcaster. Alright. Snapcaster on a discard spell. Oh, look at that. Because if they do cast Beast Within, we can use the mana they targeted, float the mana, and then go for the throat our own thing. But now they have a target for Demonic Dread, which is bad. But that's okay. Three Demonic Dreads. Alright, so let's take a Beast Within. And then see what happens end of turn. see if they beast within anything. The weirdest game I have ever played. This guarantees we live another turn, but their living end is going to come off next turn, which is fine because nothing has haste. We can just kill them with creeping tar pits. Oh, that's a good one. That we have to counter, unfortunately. And now it's just attack with 2 creeping tar pits, I think. Yeah, I don't know if we can afford to it, or if we have 2 creeping tar pits, but or if we can activate. All right, yeah, I think we can. Let's see. All right, let's get them dead. All right, colorless mana. Wake this up, and then colorless mana, blue, black. Wake this up. I think we win. But man, was this game weird. I could be wrong about something. They could have like Spirit Guide or something and we're just horribly dead. But I don't think they do. Their hand is 3 Demonic Dreads, a Beast Within, and something else. Oh, and another Living End, I think. So the Living End is going to come off, but... And they're going to have 2 Fulminators, but we have 2... Or they're going to have 1 Fulminator, but we have 2 Creeping Tar Pits. So this is okay. And we get back a random Snapcaster Mage that does absolutely nothing. This might be the Magic Online game of my life. Wow. Alright, so yeah, 1 Fulminator. So they need to drip another Fulminator. They don't have any Beast Withins left, I don't think. Or they might have 1. Maybe we messed this up. What are they doing? Something's happening. They drew another Fulminator? Oh no. They have Beast, they're going to cast Beast with them, probably. Huh. I have no idea what's happening. This game is so weird. We draw a Cryptic Command, we win. That's kind of cool. We might still win. They're equally confused. Oh, they are casting Beast Within. Okay. I can't manually get... No, they destroyed one of our tar pits. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, good play. Come on, Cryptic Command. Oh my god, we're so lucky! We are so insanely lucky. Alright. Wait, I'd undo that. Oh well, doesn't matter. Blue. Our opponent is probably so mad, but I would have been the one who was so mad if we didn't rip Cryptic Command. Alright, so we have a mana floating. Let's wake this up. And we win. Oh, wow, that was insane. Alright, so what do we do now? How do we beat this deck? Surgical Extraction is probably okay. I don't think so, though. If we discard spell Living End and then Surgical it, we win. Negate is good. What's it called? Dispel does nothing. Explosives does nothing. Liliana the Veil is not good. I mean, Dispel doesn't do nothing. It counters Beast Within. Damnation is fine. Damnation Kalitas is a reasonable thing to try to do against them, I think. Also, we can, like, discard our... I don't think we want Dismember. I don't think we want Fatal Push at all. I also don't think we want to go for the Throat. That game was so weird. It was so insanely weird. Mistmind Click is kind of weak. Vendilion Click is good. Mistmind Click is kind of weak to Beast Within, but probably still fine. Maybe trying to Damnation them is too ambitious. Just Kalitas Damnation seems like a really sweet way to beat them. You just like discard your Kalitas to your Liliana or Collective Brutality. We're not going to board in Collective Brutality. Maybe we will. Yeah, kind of good. And then when they Living End, we can Damnation afterwards, and Kalitas gives us like 500 tokens, and all their stuff goes away. That's a cool line. Snapcaster Mage is kind of clunky. I need to cut 2 more cards. 1 Lily, 1 Mistmind Click. Do I want all these cards? I think so, yeah. All right, let's do it. That was the best game ever. I had no idea what was happening for the first 5 minutes. Oh man, that game was crazy. Brutality, Bitter Blossom, Cryptic Descent is great. Fairies is sweet. Well on the way to the 2-0. All you need is some top deck help. We won a game where we took an actual theoretically planned out line that was just wrong and would have caused it to die. Talked through it in front of all my viewers and it was just horribly wrong. And that was really good. So yeah. Alright, this deck is kind of slow, so that's one thing to remember. So we can do stuff in the early turns. Like, Click is a great draw. Remember, they can Violent Outburst into Living End at instant speed. So it's important to know that even something like End of Turn Vendilion Click is not guaranteed to be, like, safe. But, like, I don't think they're going to do this for 1 Desert Ceradon. Doesn't seem great. All right. Cycle 2 more things. And they have it up. What about just Brutality now? It's interesting. Huh. Now, Bitter Blossom's actually good because it blocks, too. I'm going to get Bitter Blossom to play. Worst case scenario is they just, like, cycle, untap, cast Violent Outburst, and get 3 things back. But then, like, we can, like, maybe kill something. All the cyclers cost 1 now, and they're all sweet. I guess they all cost 1 before anyway. This is really funny. Desert Ceradon just makes it so we'll never again lose to, like, Valley Ranit or whatever the terrible card that they were playing before that was. It was like a 6 mana 6/3. Igneous Pouncer. What's going on? What are you tanking for? I can't believe I lost to the person who messed up so bad. That's what our opponent is saying. Oh, this match is truly delightful. I am so happy to bring this to all of you. Lost connection to the game? Nope. Oh, Bitter Blossom's good. Okay. Sweet. Alright. 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 Cycle. Cycle. Yeah. Maybe not. Probably, though. Cycle Horror of the Broken Lands. Yep. No, cycle something that costs 2. Oh, no! This is the best thing I've ever seen. Oh, is this like their sideboard plan? They have Oh, man. This deck is so cool. Just gonna do nothing? Alright. They definitely could have cast. Alright. Oh, yeah. Get a token. Whatever. Draw a card. Yeah, draw a card is cool. Maybe they're doing it on my upkeep. They're Beast Withining something. It's possible. That's a totally reasonable play, actually. I think that's what they're doing. They're going to Beast Within a land, maybe? Or the Bitter Blossom. Either of which is acceptable. Yeah, so they decided not to. Okay, that's also fine. Get the Darkslick in while it still comes to play untapped. If they cycle end of turn, I think I'm going to sneak out this Vendilion Click. I wanted them to Beast Within so we could play the land and then Brutality. Now I'm worried that if we Brutality, they're going to cast Violent Outburst in response. And it might be better to wait till we get 5 mana and try to get them in the same turn. But if they cycle anything and tap below 3, I'm 100% gonna sneak out the Click. Cryptic up if we wait. Although they usually board in Ricochet Trap. It'd be pretty awkward if they just cast Violent Outburst right now. Although, I can't imagine that they would. Because they would have just done it on their turn if they were going to do that. Cycle. Cycle. Alright, we're not going to get to see the card they draw, but that's okay. I think possibly I should have waited till afterwards, but I wasn't sure that priority was going to click back, and I was just terrified that they were just going to untap and win. So, I'm going to do this. Archfiend of Ifnir, like, pretty much unbeatable for fairies. Like, they just have a million cyclers in their deck, and they just put this thing into play off Living End, and you can never, ever win. Okay, let's see what happens. Hopefully they only have one Cascade spell. We get lucky. And cycle something else in response? Sure. And I get to see the card they draw off that. That's fine. Choke. Beast Within, Choke, Living End, Slaughter Games. I don't care about any of this. I have even less of an idea what's going on. I have no islands in play. No, keep it all. Keep it all. Completely puzzled. Well, they're gonna draw a cycle, or they're gonna draw a Cascade spell off of Archfiend cycle, and then we're gonna lose because I timed it wrong. But other than that, this is the greatest. I have no idea what's in my opponent's deck and why. I guess Choke makes sense. I did have islands. Slaughter Games for Cryptic Command is like something that they could do, maybe. Maybe they were worried I had Leyline of the Void, but it would come into play before they can ever Slaughter Games it, so that doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to chalk this game up to an anomaly across the board. Beast Within is great. It's not surprised that that's still there. And Living End is great, but too slow to cast. What is our opponent? What are they doing? Okay. They disconnect or something? Alright. Cool. their upkeep. Drew. One of their draws was Bloodstained Mire. Okay. Slaughter Games. Naming. Slaughter Games resolves. What are they naming? Cryptic Command. Okay, so I was right about that. Okay. This is really interesting. A bunch of strange things are going to happen now. Maybe nothing happens. I don't know. They're going to get all our Cryptic Commands, which is unfortunate, but that's... We still got some creatures in play and stuff, so that's good. Mutavault's a good one. Let's escalate brutality. Just keep the creature land because it's a little bit better since we don't have Cryptic Command in our deck anymore. Don't really need a third colored source. Can still activate Tar Pit as we have used Mutavaults to activate Mutavaults in the pinch. So I think it's right to discard the Delta. Possible that if the opponent has another troubling card, let's take this. And then attack. Living End is too slow. So it's Beast Within, or Living End, Choke. Blooming Marsh, Choke, Overgrown Tomb, Living End. Okay, yeah. None of that matters. Alright, sweet. Alright, we have Lethal in play next turn. If they don't draw Living End. If they do... I don't know. I think we're done. Alright, we're done. Gonna be a real tilt if we get... Not if we get discard spelled here, it's gonna be a real tilt. Alright. Opponent has taken almost as much time as we have, and we are glacially slow. I don't know what they think about. Oh no. So many redraws in this deck. So many redraws. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good redraw because they still might die. That's... So no. Blooming Marsh is turned off. Tomb is turned on? Maybe? Oh, dead. Okay. Sweet. Alright. 2-0 with Blue-Black Fairies. So we just saw the match against Living End. Living End is a kind of a unique deck, and that was a pretty fun match, if I do say so myself. Game 1 was super interesting as we tried to navigate around their Demonic Dreads and not give them a target to cast the Demonic Dread, which gives them the Cascade, which hits Living End. Yeah, so the goal of the entire game was like we were trying to not put a creature into play during their turn, so that they couldn't cast their Demonic Dread, and we were pressuring with with creature lands, and also using discard spells to try to navigate through the game. And we didn't draw any counter magic, so it was kind of difficult. I think there was one mana leak, but minimal counter magic made it kind of difficult to win the game the conventional way, where you would just put some creatures into play and then counter Living End twice and win. That's just the easiest way to win. But this game ended up being very unique in that we didn't have any real way to stop them, short of making it so that they couldn't cast their Demonic Dreads. And eventually, I cast Go for the Throat on my own Snapcaster Mage that I had used to snap back a discard spell, I believe. And then the plan still just immediately fell apart right after that, and I think a Beast Within allowed them to get a target for Demonic Dread, and they were able to resolve Living End, bringing back a Fulminator Mage, and they had another Beast Within. So now my 2 Creeping Tar Pits, which were my path to victory, were both shut off, and I was able to get extremely lucky and draw Cryptic Command off the top on the last turn I had when they had 15 creatures in play, and win the game from there. And it was super interesting and intense the entire time, and I definitely passed through my turn a couple times just because I had no idea what was happening, because every time they had priority they would just cycle things wildly, so I didn't know what was going on, and I kept passing through my turn. It was pretty funny. In game 2 we just stuck in early Bitter Blossom. We had some interaction in the form of Vendilion Click and some other counter magic and stuff. And they cast Slaughter Games on our Cryptic Commands, which was kind of strange. I didn't really expect them to bring that card in. They did. I think they also had a Choke and some other strange cards, and we had no islands in play, but 3 or 4 blue sources, but no islands, which is one cool thing about fairies. And game 2 ended up being pretty simple. It was just establish the clock, and their weird reactive cards did nothing, and they lost in short order. So yeah, so that was that. Next match, we're going to be battling against one of the most popular decks in Modern, Jund Death Shadow. So please stay tuned for that, because that's surely poised to be interesting as well. And thank you, and see you guys soon.
Looking for fun, informative Magic the Gathering analysis? Look no further than Kirwan'sGameStore.com. Team KGS has the best writers and content providers this side of Kaladesh. Whether you're looking for standard, modern, vintage, tournament reports, or deck techs, Team KGS will give you the insight and analysis to help with your Magic game. Check out Kirwan'sGameStore.com weekly for new videos and articles, and see why KGS is the best place in gaming.